Yeah. What's going on, y'all? I feel like I always start with it. I always feel like I need to do that. What's going on? Just a little song, a little melody moment. What's up, y'all? Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little story. I used to live in New York City, okay? And I left Cali for New York. So when I moved to New York, I don't know if y'all know anything about New York City, but you literally walk everywhere. And it was so fascinating to me because when I lived in California, if 7-Eleven was a block down the street, I would pull my car out the garage, drive up the street, make a U-turn, go to 7-Eleven and hit the block, come back. And like we drive our cars everywhere in California. So New York was really refreshing. I moved to Harlem. And so you walk to the subways, you walk to the bus stops, you walk to find a taxi. If something is 10 blocks away, you walk the avenues, the streets, everything. So after a while, especially during the summer, because that's when I moved, my feet were hurting. Like it was starting to hurt. You know, New York is the concrete jungle, and I'm just out here thugging it on the streets, walking everywhere like I'm used to it. So I went to a chiropractor because I was feeling a little bit out of alignment. So I go in there and they crack, they crunch, and they do everything that they're supposed to do, and I walk out. And when I left the chiropractor's office, I felt weird. Like I felt different. And I could tell that when I was walking, I wasn't walking the same. It just, and I wasn't in pain, but I was kind of like trying to figure out what my body was doing and how my feet were hitting the pavement and what was going on and how I was feeling. So it was really weird. And it was something that I had to get used to all over again. And for a minute, I was scared because I was like, why do my hips feel out of place or something? Just couldn't tell what was going on. But anyway, what made me think about that story is you guys know I came on here yesterday and I was sharing like I was really sad. And to be honest, I'm still sad. I'm going through a lot of different things. Like, I help single Black women over 30 go from helpless to hopeful in love. I'm somebody who has been single for an extended period of time, and I've been through all the lows and the lulls and the disparities and the mindsets of it and have been able to overcome them in a way where I can actually be hopeful. No matter what happens, I'm going to always be hopeful about the love that's possible to come into my life because I deserve it. I put it out. It is a desire on my heart and, all of those things. So I've been in a situation where I'm trying to date. I'm, learning someone new and, you know, it made me think of this story of alignment. Yesterday, I was really sad. I was feeling some kind of way. And today, I'm still kind of going through it. But it made me think of telling you guys this story about the chiropractor because this is what alignment feels like. I had been walking a certain way. Then I went to a new place and was exploring and walking and enjoying and doing all that. And my feet weren't adjusted to it. So there was some pain involved. So I had to go to a specialist and have them crack, crunch, and realign my body to go out and endure this new environment that kind of threw me off. So now my feet are more conditioned. My chiropractic efforts have put me back in alignment. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? I feel funny. So this is the same thing that happens when we're growing, when we're finding ourselves in taking ourselves from an old space to a new space. There was some pain involved with like, ow, my feet, my alignment, I'm misaligned. I'm walking on this new territory and my body's not used to it. So I go to the chiropractor and have them crunch and crack. This is a realignment and put my body back into alignment so that I can go forth. And the second they send me out to go forth, of course, it feels different. It feels weird. My body is in a new place. Then I just adjusted this new place to my feet. And now my hips are aligned and now I'm learning how to stand and walk upright. And it feels funny. It feels so funny. At first, I thought something was wrong because my body, my stance, my alignment was not used to feeling and being like that, especially because I had been walking in this new territory for so long. So when we're making these adjustments to our lives, there's going to be the crunching and the cracking of the chiropractor getting you back together. When you start to walk again, it might scare you like, oh my God, this feels funny. This because it's not what you've been doing. So it's going to feel different. It's going to feel weird. And it might scare you. That's okay. This is why I'm sharing that, because it's okay to be afraid. Sometimes when fear comes up, it's not like um the kind of fear that stops you in your tracks, but it's okay to be like, ooh, what is that? Am I walking right? Is this okay? That feels different. This feels weird. All right. It's more of like a wonderment. Somebody wrote something, I don't remember where I saw it, but fear, um, feeling excited and ready. I like that for fear, feeling excited and ready. So it can be looked at as that too. Fear is just an indicator. It's just something that informs us of what's going on. So that's the kind of fear I'm discussing. But I was like, oh my God, am I walking? Why do I feel this way? It feels different. I'm scared. Is something wrong? And it's like, no, nothing's wrong. You just went to a professional. Everything's good. You just need to get used to the alignment. And that's what I feel like I'm doing in my personal life. You know, getting to know someone new, dating someone new, and the things that come up when two people are trying to figure out if they belong in each other's lives. It's not easy, along with what I'm doing with you guys. This group coaching program has been on my heart for quite some time. It took me a while of walking and walking it out before I realized, okay, now it's time to get my adjustment so I can really walk this thing out. And now that I've done that, there are times where I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? How am I doing this? This feels funny. This feels weird, but something keeps telling me to put one foot in front of the other. So I know that was a little bit all over the place, but I really wanted to use the analogy of me getting that chiropractic fix in New York and being in new territory and having to realign and it being scary and weird. But it's only because I'm learning to walk again. Only because we're learning to walk again. Sometimes things feel different. And on this journey, especially with where I'm taking you guys and with what we're doing and with the newfound freedom and strength and power and inner knowing and following your intuition, it's not always going to feel easy because it's not going to be comfortable. This is new. You haven't done this before. So I want you to set your expectation that, okay, like, wait a minute, this is different. Let me get aligned. Let me take another step. I think I'm good. And, sometimes it hurts. Like when, sometimes, you're confused. There's going to be different things that come up when you are realigning and you are walking out a completely new version of you. When I come to you guys every day, like this is new. I'm in such a new place in my life. Thank God that I've done enough self-work to at least not only acknowledge that, but to give myself grace through it because it's challenging. And this is the part where I feel like some people give up because I can hear the old part of myself that wants to kind of like give up. It's too much. It's too hard. I'm by myself. Do I have the right support? How do I do like all of these things that puts questions in your mind, a little bit of fear. You don't know what you're doing. So I hope that I can encourage you that it's okay. You might not know what you're doing. You might get a little scared. You're new. Embrace that. You're walking a different path. You're going somewhere you've never been before. And if you're on this channel and you're listening, you're somebody who wants to grow and wants to change. So if you're growing and changing and you got to get those adjustments, so you take misalignment to alignment, it might hurt a little bit. Chiropractor might have to crack those hips, your back, and do whatever. And it might feel funny and weird and it sounds crazy. And you might get off that table and think something is wrong. And, but that's okay. I want you to embrace that as you grow and you change and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's what I'm doing. And all along the way, I'm reminding myself of the newness of me, the beauty of me, the alignment of me, and that it's okay to be different. Like I shared yesterday on my talk, it is easier and more comfortable to be negative and to be comfortable. So if you're going to embark on this journey to change your life, change your mindset, and you start to see things change around you and within you, embrace the uncomfortability, knowing that that uncomfortability is not an indicator that you're doing something wrong or that you should stop or that you need to revert back because you're headed in the wrong direction. It's part of the heading in the right direction. It's part of the realignment. You was like this, now you're like, so it's going to take Now you just got to learn to walk like this again. It feels different because you've been walking like this crooked for like how long? So give yourself grace. I don't know. What do you guys think about what I'm saying? Did you follow the story? Do you get the analogies? Do you understand what I'm saying? Those of you who tune into this, I know you're growing. I know you're learning. I know you are taking in fresh information that is untying knots in your brain, that is changing the lens of the way you literally see the world, the way you see yourself, waking up to your power in a different way that is more heart-centered, which makes it more powerful than the ego in your mind and your mouth has ever been able to deliver. So this is scary. It's different. This is not something that is taught. We're not taught to live this way all the time. So I just wanted to check in with y'all and see how you're handling the growth. How are you feeling? You feeling aligned? Are you walking well in your realignment? Are you okay with it, the fact that it hurts sometimes and it's weird? Uncomfortable. Let's see. Tawny says, hi, thank you for being here. I am living in a space right now where English is not the first language. Wow. I don't feel like I am at home. I see them laughing and having a fellowship together, and I feel like I miss my own family. That's very understandable. You're in a foreign land of sorts. And so this is that uncomfortability that I'm talking about. Your surroundings look different. And to be honest, I almost kind of feel like I'm in the same or similar boat, you know? But I can understand how if you're in a place where you're learning and growing and you're also feeling out of place, there is a special and unique reliance on yourself that you need to cultivate and have in order to continue to walk this thing out and to find a way to be okay with it. So, I mean, that is a very powerful observation because a lot of the times, and I preach this on here on this journey of realignment and reassessment and growth and going from helpless to hopeful and changing your mind and changing your life, you need sisterhood, you need friends, you need family, you need support. And to be inundated in an environment where you don't feel like you connect to those people, it does require a special level of connection to yourself, because you have to remember that if everything in your life is for your greater good, that there's a reason for that. And only your openness to discovering why you're where you're at is going to give you the answer that you need. And I'm asking you to be inspired with openness, because again, if we're operating from, oh, this fear or this uncomfortability or this loneliness or this void, and you start to look at it as something negative, or you're doing something wrong, or you're in the wrong place, or you need to do something else to be somewhere, that is going to create a static that comes from your head trying to figure things out to keep you safe, as opposed to just being in your heart. Like maybe, learn a few words in Spanish and go be funny, and or whatever the language, I think it might be Spanish, and just have a little joke, pop by and go back to your own studies, your own reading. Solitude is also beautiful when you're growing like this. The butterfly they're not in the cocoon with mad people. They're in there by themselves because this is tender. It's mushy. It's challenging. It's personal. And sometimes the solitude is okay because it's to be curated by you. Outside influences at times can be distractions. They can be triggers. They can cause confusion, especially if they're not the type of people that are on your level and where you're going. And you know that and can see it, and that's okay. But it's probably okay you're not having miles and miles of longs of conversations with these people. It might not be that season. So I just challenge you to look and see with your heart what's in front of you, and pray, meditate, or ask, why you are where you are. But the need to be around family is beautiful. And I don't think that goes anywhere. So missing your family, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's beautiful. I miss, some of the camaraderie with family, but I'm also in a space now where I actually want to be alone. I need my energy for myself. And so I know it's the holidays and all of these things, but I'm dealing with some challenging things. And I personally don't know if I have the energy to put on face and go be in a room full of people right now, even though I love them. So, but you can still miss them at the same time. So anyways, whatever. Thank you for sharing that. This journey really is unique and it's all your own. So remember that and make it that way. And lean into it as much as possible. And just know it may be hard, weird, funny, crickety, cracky, and feeling misaligned sometimes, but it doesn't mean stop or you're in the wrong place or you're doing something wrong. It's just part of it. It means you're on your way. So let's see. Oh, yes, I'll ask. Great idea. Maybe this is my time to be alone with myself and God. Yeah. There's so much beauty in that. It's funny because I don't want to feel like I'm contradicting myself. Community and sisterhood is important, but so is solitude. And you just got to know when you need solitude. I'm out here right now online, but you know how 2020 went. There was a period from like 2020, all of 2021. I've been in the most solitude I've ever been. And my growth has powered a lot because I'm not distracted by, hey girl, let's go here, wine here, talking to my homegirl about this problem, going to this job. I was able to slow down enough and really get into myself and ask myself questions and see myself and see my own reactions. And even now, I want to come to you guys live and I want to continue to stay consistent, but I'm also sensing I'm about to kind of like go into my cocoon a little bit. I'm going to come out here for this, but I don't want to read all this social media, see all these opinions, hear all this stuff. I kind of just want to be with me. Recalibrate me, see who I am, what am I thinking, what am I feeling? Because a lot of times we don't understand how much the outside really does influence us. And we think some of our ideas and thoughts and things are our own, but they're mixed in with what you're seeing on TV, what the girls is talking about, what you heard on this social media, what you saw on YouTube, there's a lot of influences. So it's okay to just, I need to do all that right now. It's okay. You're welcome. Yeah, man. Really felt good to come on here. This whole message was about realignment and sometimes how it can be painful. It feels weird. Sometimes it's whatever. That's what I feel like I'm going through. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm hurting, but I'm whole. I'm joyful and here for myself and sure about my future, but I'm also walking in the unknown and not sure about anything. But I'm here for it all. I don't care what it feels like. We're going onward and upward. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend who might feel like they're in a new space. They're trying new things. They're trying to grow. They just got out of a relationship, a long-term relationship, or they've been single a while. They're trying to get into a new relationship. They're looking for a new job. Like, these identity shifts and changes come with their own set of like, what is going on? But you got this. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow Loving Life Deep on Instagram. I'm your girl, Jamie. I help single Black women over 30 go from helpless to hopeful in love because we deserve to be pumped and loving our life deeply and excited about everything that we go through, even when we think it doesn't feel good. Okay. Love y'all. Until next time.